Hi guys, this is Mrs. Hill. This is our third lesson from our book From Tadpole to Frog. And in this lesson, we are going to finish up our story today. We're going to look at some more photographs. We're going to look at one vocabulary word. And then we're also going to look at our skill sheets, finish those up, and use those skill sheets on Friday as we prepare for an AR test as well. So again, this is lesson number 3 from our story From Tadpole to Frog. We are going to start today on page 20. On page 20 and 21, the photograph extends through both pictures. And if you look closely at that picture, our tadpole has really changed. He's got some arms, he's got some legs, and his tail's getting smaller. It's kind of hard to see in that picture, but he's really making some changes. On page 22, we've got another photograph inside of a take a closer look box. The caption says, close up of a tadpole's mouth. So his mouth is really changing as well as he grows into a little frog. Page 23, check him out. His hind legs. Look how small his tail is here compared to where it was when it was big and fat and kind of full of jelly looking stuff. Page 24. Looks like a little frog, doesn't he? And his tail's getting even smaller. Page 25, we've got another text feature inside our box, that close-up photograph. A tadpole's webbed foot. Think about why he would need a webbed foot, and if your foot was had this little webbing in between your toes, what that would do for you as you swim. And one of the last pictures, look at this cute little frog on page 26. Page 28 and 29, there's a different photograph of a frog. And page 30, look how much bigger he is. On page 31 of our book, there's a glossary. A glossary is full of key vocabulary words. It looks like there's 6 of them. After the bold vocabulary word, it gives you a definition. So any of the bold words in our story, you can refer back to page 31 and look at that definition. And we'll take a closer look at those in just a few minutes. Okay, so we're going to read pages 20 through 31 in our book From Tadpole to Frog. As the tadpole's lungs grow stronger, its gills shrink away. 2 front legs begin to grow where its gills once were. So here's his front legs. That's where his gills once were when he was a tadpole. By the time it is about 2 months old, the tadpole's mouth has become wider. Think about why his mouth would become wider, why his mouth would change. The tadpole starts to eat small bugs. For a few more weeks, the tadpole's tail shrinks and shrinks. See, his tail's getting really small. Now the tadpole's strong legs and its webbed feet help it swim. So he's got these little webbed places between his toes. It'll help him swim in the water. The tadpole has changed into a small frog. Soon the little frog will leave the pond. The frog spends much of its time out of the water, but it likes to stay wet so it does not go far. The little frog catches bugs and worms. It swallows them in its wide mouth. The frog eats and grows. It gets a little bigger every day. After about 2 or 3 years, the frog is fully grown. Every spring, there will be new frog eggs in the pond. So that's the last lesson in our book, From Tadpole to Frog. After you've listened to the video, you can listen to it as many times as you would like. You are going to go back to your skill sheet. We're going to finish our guided notes page today. You will start about halfway down through the page with the sentence that says, tadpoles also have blank feet to help them swim. The answer to that is on page 25. Soon the tadpoles change into small blank. They can catch blank and blank to eat. About blank or blank years later, the frogs are fully grown. So as you go back into your document, finish filling in the blank, the last blanks you have on your skill sheet. Do not turn it in yet. So just hang on to it. And your next skill sheet, we're going to come down to the blank box on the left where I have page 31 written. You're going to find the word that matches the definition. Any type of egg that is laid in water. I gave you a hint on page 31. That is the glossary page of the book. So you may go back to the glossary page of the book and find the definition, match the definition with the word, because you're filling in the missing word right here. The next one, the word is tadpoles. You'll find the definition of a tadpole. And the last one on the bottom, you will need to find the word that matches the definition. Any type of feet with thin, flat folds of skin connecting the toes. That's also on page 31. Once you find those missing words, if you want to go back in the story and find them in the book, you may. Just another way to help with the comprehension behind the definitions and the words. We will use both of these skill sheets when we take our AR test on Friday, and we'll review these together before we take that AR test. So if you have any questions, I will be available through Remind. You can message me on there and I will be happy to answer them for you. Thanks a bunch.